COVID.
COVID.
There you go. What's on your forehead?
I had cancer removed. See it?
Yeah. I mean,
they freeze the skin so it scabs up.
Wait, is this real?
Yeah.
Oh.
Had it done on Monday.
That's good.
Yeah. Trying to.
So are you cancer free now?
For today.
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here, though.
Joining me, as always,
Step ends.
Dollar Bill Dave.
I touched myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning forward. I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo, goo, goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk, yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit drawers get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No. I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
Pow!
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Step ends.
Joining me, as always, Dollar Bill Dave.
All right, got a question for y'all.
Okay.
I commented on this post on X yesterday.
Twitter.
You just got banned. Okay.
All right, here we go. Would you rather get paid $1 million right now
I saw this.
or $50 every month for the rest of your life? I'll take option B. That's what passive income is. Find a way to make passive income. It'll change your life. $50 every month.
I think it's supposed to be $50 a day.
Yeah. He wrote
A month.
a month.
That is
It would take you 1,700 years to make $1 million.
that is passive aggressive income. That is not even passive income.
And the guy, somebody responded, problem is by that time, $50 will be worth 11 cents. And I wrote, yeah, and he'll have been dead for 1,670 years.
Well, even let's say he meant $50 a day. So I just did the math on a that's 18 grand a year. It's still
No, that can't be right.
All right, so 50 times 30 for 30 days in a month is $1,500. Times 12 for a year is 18,000.
Damn, that's terrible.
So it's still going to take him. I mean, now it's only going to take
50
him.
times 365 is 18,250. 1 million divided by 18,250. It'll take him 55 years to make $1 million.
Well, I mean, that's at least reasonable. If he's 20, okay.
I hope
That 18 grand a year is going to be fucking life changing.
Imagine the compound interest on that shit, though.
I hope he takes that 18 grand a year and enlists in math classes.
Hey, 55 years, I'm good with that. Like, that's better than 1,700 years or whatever.
I just take the $1 million now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what else they call 18 grand a year? A shitty job. Why don't you just do that?
That's not even a job anymore. You can't get a job paying 18 grand anymore.
You can if you don't work full time. Work 6 hours a week at the Winn-Dixie.
Well, that's not shitty then. That's a lot of free time. That's a good job.
But you don't have any money to do anything with.
He's selling feet pics on OnlyFeet.
Wait, is that a thing?
I don't know.
OnlyFeet?
Onlyfeet.com.
Can we make it a thing?
Check it out and see.
And you haven't seen my feet. You think my fingers are bad. You ought to see my toes.
Oh, you got cricket toes too.
You got hammer toe?
No. I have
Who's knuckle.
I have a calcium deposit on one of my big toes.
Oh.
Look, it looks like it's got an extra knuckle.
You look like your feet look like they belong in that movie. What's the Lord of the Rings?
Trolls?
Yeah.
How did
Well,
we
to
not
be
notice
fair-
that?
What?
How did we not notice that on the Jericho cruise?
Because I would have
I
made
mean,
fun of you like a mom.
absolutely.
They're not super deformed. It's just that one
They're
toe
not
has a.
super deformed.
They just look like Howard the Duck walking around.
One
I
of
don't
them
know.
just has a head growing out of it.
It kind of. It's extra knuckle.
Did I ever tell you that when I was at Langley, we used to have movie-related nicknames? So there was one guy in our shop, really good at photo art, but he's also a giant movie nerd. So he would just give you a nickname for a movie character that, like, at first glance, you remind him of that movie character. Do you know what my character was?
What?
And he even made me a poster of me as this character, Howard the Duck.
There you go.
Apparently, when I have no beard, I look like a duck.
You don't have a bill though.
Oh, he put one on me in the poster. It was actually me with Leah Thompson behind me on the pedal paraglide thing.
It'd be better if you were behind Leah Thompson, I think.
Amen. Even today, I do
Even
it.
today. Caroline
Please.
is the city.
If she's listening to this show, I hope she remembers to subscribe and rate this show wherever she gets her podcast, because we are giant Leah Thompson fans on this show. While
Back
you're
to the
at it,
future.
that's right. Follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast. Follow our new Patreon network on Twitter at Ram Sports Net. And Leah, I will be your Calvin Klein. Timmy, what is available on the Patreon? We've been
you
peddling
get
shit nonstop.
what?
So we've been
Huh?
peddling some shit nonstop.
Bicycles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You will get the classics. You'll get legends. Let's rethink this. Footballers, evolution of evil, wrestling with commercials. But now you will also get TNA Top 10, talking wrestling with Pondwater Dave, and a literal ton of bonus content. We just put something up last night. Lots of watch-alongs, lots of, I believe, Pondwater, like he has a special guest every week. He had Nick, I can't think of the guy's last name.
Nick Harrison.
TikTok famous.
Titopolis from Godzilla.
Tatanka.
Tip Top Anonymous.
Hip Hop Anonymous.
Damn, why do you always give him the easy ones? But you will get all of that plus our special events that we're putting together for the year of 2024.
Sounds
year
like
of our Lord.
Sounds like Labor Day.
No, I labor every day.
We're going to
Me
be
and
in
Dave-
Illinois.
Me and Dave were just talking about it.
We already have our tentacles in a suite in Schaumburg for Labor Day weekend.
By the way, I'm sleeping with you, TJ.
Stay,
What?
like before or after?
Maybe during. Who
Or
knows?
during? I mean, I'm gonna have to tell my wife she's gonna have to sleep in your room that night, but Timmy's sleeping over tonight. You're gonna have to stay in his. It's gonna get messy over here. I'm excited to do this show because
It's better than anything we've done in like a month.
this show was fantastic. It's just a shame WCW didn't know how to business back then.
I don't know if it's fantastic. It was
I loved
not shitty. How about that?
I mean, there was a squash match on here for some reason, but I thought it was a great show. But
talk about that Flair Steamboat match.
Yeah,
it was so long it squashed my soul.
I don't know if I go that far, but we get to do this week. We had and what's nice about 5-week months is we get to do a watch along. I mean, we're going to do a watch along, but now we had two, big time shows to choose from between Clash of the Champions 6, which is what we're doing today. Next week, we're doing the watch along for WrestleMania 5, which is one of my all time top 4 favorite pay-per-views ever. And I think this was the first time I watched Ragin' Cajun all the way through. And I liked it fine. It was really good.
I'm still waiting on the other 5 matches.
We're going to talk about that. So,
Timmy, you should have Sarah do an angry dragon this weekend.
do not Google that if you're listening to this show.
Angry dragon.
Well, Timmy, you
all right,
Google
Dave reads Urban Dictionary. What's an angry dragon?
Timmy, you Google it after the show. No one else should do that. But before you do, I need
Let
you
him
to
Google it right now.
I need you to take that Google finger and get it on the harpsichord. So
I've already got it
show
ready.
rolling. Oh man, because this week we're going back to simpler time. April 2nd, 1989. And again, we're going to watch Clash of the Champions 6 Raging Cajun live from the Superdome. They just forgot to tell anybody. However, before we get to that show, what's happening in the world yesterday? He found it. Buff the Angry Dragon. Let's run through some events. Filter free up first. Timmy, get us in the mood. Take a drink of my mule.
I gave your mom an angry dragon last night. That's the example of a sentence.
Stories that missed the cut. April 18th. Timmy C finds out what an angry dragon is at the age of 44.
Almost 45.
Almost 45. April 1st, Bartlett Giamatti takes his place as the 7th commissioner in Major League Baseball history as he replaces Peter Uberoth. However, he didn't actually get to do that much as he dies of a heart attack just 5 months later.
Bullshit! He banned the Hit King for life, and because the dumbass died, no commissioners had the balls to reinstate him. Son of a bitch.
Did you see a NBA player got banned for life yesterday?
He was betting on himself.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
When
When you're betting the under on yourself and then you exit the game, that's a problem.
He was
some guy from Toronto.
He bet his total points was 1.5.
Toronto's not even that good.
He bet the under and then left the game with an eye injury.
That's tremendous. I love it.
Not for him, because he just lost his career.
Oh, well. I mean, if his over-under for points per game was 1.5, it didn't sound like he had much of a career to begin with.
Terry Porter's brother, isn't it?
It's
Javante
Porter or something like that.
April 2nd, the Lady Vols of Tennessee beat Auburn 76-60 to win the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship.
Pat Head Summit.
April 2nd, Joe Moran. Joe Mullen of the Calgary Flames get 2 assists and a win over the Edmonton Oilers. This gave him 110 points on the season, a new record for an American-born player.
Well, he plays ice soccer, so he is a moron.
We need to, this would have been a really good spot to have Proud to be an American.
What? And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I proudly stand up.
Symbol next to you.
But he played for the Calgary Flames, and they won over the Edmonton. None of that was in America. Why are we?
Except for him.
It doesn't count. He's playing ice soccer.
And I'm proud to be a Canadian, where at least I know.
April 3rd, Glenn Rice and the Michigan Wolverines beat Seton Hall. I put 8-79, but that is not the right score.
They scored a shit ton of points in overtime.
Damn. 80-79 in overtime to win the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
Defensive struggle the first 40 minutes, and then they opened up.
And then Glenn Rice just went off, son.
Scored 40 points in 5 minutes.
April 4th, New York Yankee pitcher Tommy John plays in his 26th season, tying him for the Major League record. He also gets his 289th career win as the Yanks beat the Twins 4-2.
Was that before or after surgery?
This was after.
Okay.
It worked. Everyone has it now. Like, pitchers get it preemptively.
Did you see the average age of Tommy John surgery recipients now is like 15? What are we doing?
It's because of the stupid travel ball shit.
They actually, so some scientist was on and he actually said like a lot of 15 and 16-years will throw in fucking 95 miles an hour now. And he was like, no, just based on anatomy and how the body grows, your average 15-year-old pitcher should be pitching 80 tops.
And that's if he's a stud.
Yeah. April 4th, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, legendary basketball player for the Milwaukee Bucks and LA Lakers, plays in his final game, an away game in Seattle.
I appreciate he just got drafted this year. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Did he get drafted?
No, he's not. He didn't get drafted. He's transferring.
Oh.
Cream. That's a shame.
Indiana State guy.
He had some phenomenal nicknames. April 5th, Late Night with David Letterman becomes the first show broadcast in Dolby Stereo.
Blinded him with science.
Okay.
Thomas Dolby. This thing on.
Yeah, it is. Nobody knows your dumb jokes. What are you talking about?
Thomas Dolby blinded me with science. Invented Dolby surround sound. He
That
was,
was
a
like 100
scientist.
years ago.
It was not. It was like the 80s.
35 years ago.
It's like 100 years ago. So last century.
April 5th, Oral Hershiser's legendary run of 59 consecutive scoreless innings comes to an end.
Okay.
Oh, great.
No
All
one
right.
gives a shit about Oral
Wow.
Hershiser
What do you mean?
compiler.
His name is Blowjob.
Stat compiler. Is that what you just call? How?
He compiled 59 consecutive scoreless innings.
You do know he was a starter, right? Not a closer?
Yeah, I know.
He had great defensive play behind him.
Probably did a 5 and dive for 10 straight games.
I don't think that's how that works. No, shit. Back then, if you got pulled after 5 innings as a starter, it's because you gave up 9 earned.
He's no Tom. He is no Tom Browning.
And you still threw 93 pitches after 5 innings.
How many perfect games did he throw?
Oral Hershiser?
Yeah,
I don't know.
none.
I didn't look this. I didn't plan on you doing dumb red shit during this, so I didn't look it up.
Has he ever watched his own team play from across the street at Wrigley? No. Tom Browning did. Left the dugout. Went across the street.
It's because
Sat
the
in
Reds
one of those
suck. I wouldn't want to sit in that dugout either.
Oh,
I watched the Rays from across the street at Wrigley. What?
I watched the Cubs play the Tigers, and Verlander almost no hit us.
Bunch of pores.
So you watched your team from across the street at Wrigley?
Yeah.
I went and sat.
Timmy, have you watched your team from across the street at Wrigley?
No, I sat in the all-inclusive seats at Wrigley because I'm not poor.
All inclusive?
Where is that?
Right behind the plate.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe that either.
Right.
Wait, that's the first Top Guy weekend?
No.
Pick so it didn't happen.
It may have been the first Top Gun weekend. May have been.
Remember you came out and sat with us because it was a very empty game.
Yeah. That was then.
Yeah. April 9th, Nick Faldo wins the 53rd Masters Championship in Augusta, Georgia, as he beat out Scott Hoke on a sudden death playoff.
It's pronounced Hotch.
Is he English, Nick Faldo, or Australian?
I think he's British.
Spotted T.
I don't know.
He's from Greenland.
That's weird.
Is anyone actually from Greenland?
Oh, it's snow there. How do you golf?
He's Antarctic.
That's why he putts so well. He's used to just sliding right off the green. Shit, there's grass here.
What's this green shit everywhere?
A man asked Mike Tyson to move his car and got punched in the face for it.
Shouldn't have been standing there.
It's true.
It's gonna be Logan Paul here soon.
Hey, Mike, move your Buick.
Or Jake Paul. Which one's fighting him in July?
Jake Paul. It's gonna
Do
be
you realize that he's a 3-1 favorite?
Who, Tyson?
Jake Paul.
That's dumb.
It's all for show.
I'm taking Tyson on that one.
If Tyson really wants to kill him, he would, but I don't think Tyson really does.
April 9th, the greatest of all time, Ricky Henderson steals his 800th career base, but the Yanks lose to Cleveland 4-3.
How many teams did he play for?
Let's see. Yankees, Oakland, A's,
Toronto,
Angels,
the Mets, the Angels, the Padres.
Back to the A's.
Play for the A's twice.
Yankees again.
I mean, it's seriously like 7 or 8.
The Toledo Mud Hens.
I think he played for the Padres for a while.
He did. He finished up with the Mets. April 11th, Ron Hextall, goalie for the Philadelphia Flyers, becomes the first goalie ever to score a goal in the playoffs as his Flyers beat the Capitals 8-5. Hextall's goal did come in an empty net situation. It's not like he went coast to coast in his goalie gear and scored.
Ron Hextall sounds very much like something you would learn about in geometry.
I believe he's in the Hall of Fame.
Sounds like someone with a lot of right angles. Hextall.
Nerd. April 14th, it is decided that Oliver North's case for his involvement in the Iran-Contra scandal will go to trial.
Up, down, left, right, B-A,
That's it.
Select start.
And since we're covering the same month, the same year next week, that's all we're going to cover, half the month. Let's go. Stories in the Wheelhouse, April 10th. It's time to head on down to the Disney Studios in Burbank, California, as we pay witness to the 24th Academy of Country Music Awards. First of all, when I think country music, I think Burbank, California. Second of all, KT Oslin led the night with
Oslin, you dumb
Oslin.
fuck.
That's what I said. With most awards with 5, and I don't know who that is. So let's dive into
18 wheels and a dozen roses. Come on.
Never heard it.
18 wheels
You can say
and a
words, and I still don't know who it is.
roses.
She sucks.
80s
Is that a
lady.
guy or a girl?
The lady.
It's
She
a
sucks.
lady. She's an 80s lady.
She was in her 80s.
No, there was a song of hers,
It was
80s
an
ladies.
octogenarian when in Country Music Awards. 1989 was loaded in the realm of country music with acts like Alabama, George Strait, Randy Travis, Dwight Yoakam, Hank Williams Jr., Reba, the Oak Ridge Boys, and they were all nominated for awards. Since I singled out
Papa Mow Mow. Oak Ridge Boys? Come on.
Oh, I know. For some reason, I wanted to sing the Chili's Baby Back Rib song just now. Since I singled out KT Oslin, let's talk about her.
Hold on. I have a question. Dave, of those names, George Strait, Randy Travis, Dwight Yoakam, Hank Williams Jr., Reba McEntire, Oak Ridge Boys, who of those do you know?
Alabama, George Strait, Randy Travis. I mean, I've heard of Dwight Yoakam, but I couldn't name any of his songs. Hank Williams Jr., obviously, and Reba.
Guitars and Cadillacs.
Hillbilly music.
Mm-hmm.
On the streets of Bakersfield.
But the
Little sister, don't you?
Dwight Yoakam actually has had a pretty good country career, but unfortunately, his claim to fame will always be "That's Right, Comatose for Me, Baby." That will always be. He was the husband in marriage counseling at the beginning of Wedding Crashers.
Good old Randy Travis.
He was also
Tonight we're gonna tear down the wall. We're gonna laugh and drink and dance and have a ball.
Not Randy Travis.
The good time, yeah, it is, bitch. Good times ain't over after all.
Well, maybe I just don't recognize it the way you sing it.
All right, well,
country.
I'm gonna see Hank Williams Jr. this summer.
Let's talk about KT.
Cephas.
Old KT won 2 awards, one for Top Female Vocalist of the Year and Album of the Year for This Woman. She was also nominated 3 additional times, one for Single Record of the Year for I'll Always Come Back, Video of the Year for the same song, and also music video for Hold Me. Oslin actually started as a Broadway actress and also wrote a few songs for Dottie West and Gail Davies before getting noticed with her own single in 1986 entitled Wall of Tears. She had great success in the late 80s through the early 90s before returning to acting in 94. After being pushed through several personal setbacks in the mid-90s from her husband and producer, Oslin took 2 different breaks from recording in the 90s. Finally, in 2001, she asked her banker if she had enough money to quit. When the answer she got was yes, she quit. She has continued. I can't wait to be able to do that. She has continued to sporadically pop up here and there in some plays and musicals. She even made one final album in 2015 and then promptly retired for good. Unfortunately, Oslin was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2015, and on December 21st, 2020, Oslin passed away at the age of 78 from COVID.
Good old Hank Williams Jr., old Bo Cephas, won Entertainer of the Year. His 1989 hit, There's a Tear in My Beer, was a duet with his father created using electronic merging technology.
Really? They didn't dig his old ass up and make him sing?
The song had been written by his father and had been previously recorded with Hank Williams playing guitar as the sole instrument. The music video for the song combined existing television footage of Hank Williams performing, onto which electronic merging technology impressed the recordings of Williams, which then made it appear as if he were actually playing with his father. The video was both a critical and commercial success and was named Video of the Year by both the Country Music Association and the Academy of Country Music.
That's pretty badass.
In 1989.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, let's go back on the Hank machine here. Let's talk more. By the mid-1970s, Hank began to pursue a musical direction that would eventually make him a superstar. While recording a series of moderately successful songs, Williams began a pattern of heavy drug and alcohol abuse. Shocker. Upon moving to Alabama, just like Dave, in an attempt to refocus both his creative energy and his troubled personal life, Williams began playing music with Southern rock musicians, including Waylon Jennings, Toy Caldwell, and Charlie Daniels. On August 8, 1975, Williams was nearly killed while mountain climbing in southwestern Montana. While climbing Ajax Peak in the Continental Divide west of Jackson, the snow beneath Williams collapsed and he fell almost 500 feet onto rock, causing multiple severe skull and facial fractures. Williams spent 2 years recovering, relearning how to talk and sing, and undergoing 17 surgeries to repair his skull and reconstruct his face. The accident was chronicled in the semi-autobiographical made-for-television film Living Proof, the Hank Williams Jr. story. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's awesome. It's got the guy from the Waltons on it, John Boy. He played Hank.
The Waltons.
He played Hank. To hide his scars and disfigurement from the accident, Williams grew a beard and began wearing sunglasses and a cowboy hat. The beard, the hat, and sunglasses have since become Williams' signature look. I like it. During the 80s, Hank became a country music superstar known for catchy anthems and hard-edged rock-influenced country. During the late 70s into the mid-80s, Williams' songs constantly flew to number 1 or number 2 spots with songs such as, all right, Dave, I'm going to say the name. You tell me if you know the song.
They always ask me, Hank, why do you drink?
Family tradition.
Why do you
Whiskey Bent and Hellbound.
Yes.
Old Habit.
Country boy can survive.
That is not that. That's
no, I know, but I know that one too.
Ain't Misbehaving, Born to Boogie, and My Name is Bo Cephas.
I know Bo Cephas. I don't know Born to Boogie.
And I get to hear all of them this summer when I see him on tour. So excited.
Well, I was supposed to go see him a few years ago up in Davenport at the Mississippi Valley Fair.
I wish I'd have got to see him in the 80s because he had a reputation.
When he wasn't 70.
Well, he had a reputation for people. No, I actually had a probably been pissed because he would show up so shit-faced that it would just be like him mumbling into the microphone. Like it would be a terrible performance, but
it
would have been fun to watch.
Me, Hank.
I fucked up.
Hey, let's go smoke.
Again, much like Dwight Yoakam we just talked about, do you think Hank Williams' legacy will be his music or Monday Night Football?
He's got a good musical legacy, man.
Everyone knows him from Are You Ready for Some Football?
But
and that was the song Forever.
So much of his stuff is timeless, though.
Y'all know who's better than Alabama, George Strait, Randy Travis, Dwight Yoakam, Hank Williams Jr., Reba, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Katie Olsland combined?
Florida State Seminole legend and
Kid Rock.
I'm gonna see him.
Detroit, Michigan legend, Kid Rock.
I'm gonna see him with Hank.
Oh, I love Kid Rock
and Jason Aldean and Uncle Cracker.
Uncle Cracker,
yeah,
he's still a thing.
I didn't know he was still around.
Well, I'm sure he's gonna play the hits because he's got.
You know who you won't get to see though? Joe
Both of them.
No, he's 3'9" with a 10-foot dick.
Now he's 6 foot down with a 10-foot dick.
But so 4 feet of dick sticking up. You go to his gravesite, it's just a headstone and 4 feet of dick.
If that is not in our artwork next week, I'm gonna be upset.
Here lies a dick taller than the midget buried under it.
April 10th.
Somebody better tell JD immediately to draw a 4-foot dick sticking out of the ground.
April 10th. In recent weeks, we have covered Steve Jobs and the genesis of Apple. See this now we're getting to my wheelhouse. Then we covered Bill Gates, Paul Allen, the beginnings of Microsoft. Let's dive into nerddom again. And on this day, Andrew Grove, semiconductor pioneer and CEO of Intel, announces the release of the 80-486 chip, a personal favorite chip of Timmy's.
But we can't talk Thomas Dolby, but we can talk this asshat.
Yeah, that's correct. Intel was incorporated in Mountain View, California on July 18th, 1968 by Gordon E. Moore and Robert Noyce. Noyce. His name is Noyce, by the way. Moore was a chemist and has a law named after him. Moore's law, which is
what kind of law?
Noyce.
The DUI law in California.
Moore's law, which is the discovery that the number of transistors in an integrated circuit doubles every 2 years. This shit's fascinating.
I hate you.
Noyce was a physicist and a co-inventor of the integrated circuit.
Noyce.
Then the money of the operation. Arthur Work was also on board. Rock had also invested in fledgling. Why did I call him Arthur Work here? Then Rock later, Arthur Rock. Rock had also invested in fledgling companies we now know as Apple, Scientific Data Systems, and Teledyne. Intel as a company first became known for its abilities to make logic circuits and semiconductor devices. Their first goal was to replace magnetic core memory devices with ones that utilize semiconductor memory. They stepped onto the high-speed memory market in 1969 with the 3101 Schottky TTL bipolar 64-bit static random access memory. Over the next 3 years, yes, this is a real story, by the way. Over the next 3 years, Intel's demand became greater and greater. So in 1972, Intel opened up its first international manufacturing plant in Malaysia.
Sweatshop.
Yep. This plant would make all the parts that would then head to the assembly plants in Singapore and Jerusalem.
You know why they did it over there?
Mm.
It was cheaper.
Nice. They even had manufacturing developmental centers in China, India, and Costa Rica.
Sweatshop.
Nice.
It was his fault.
The i486 was announced at Spring Comdex here in April of 1989. At the announcement, Intel stated that samples would be available in the third quarter and production quantities would ship in the fourth quarter.
Wait, did you actually do a real story about this?
Spring Comdex. You know what they didn't need at Comdex?
Condom.
Condoms. Yeah. No one getting laid there. Noise.
The first i486 based PCs were announced in late 1989. No one gives a shit. We're going to skip down these low processor, microprocessor reduces things and power and consumption and stuff. And this is stupid.
All right, let's.
You wrote a whole. I'm so proud of you. You actually researched.
He didn't write shit.
No, I just Wikipedia'd that shit.
You think he studied? Noise.
I was like, look at this. Noise done.
In October 2006, a Transmeta lawsuit, I don't even know what that is, but it sounds serious, was filed against Intel.
That's what Oklahoma just filed.
For Transmeta? No, I don't think that's the same thing. I think it's different. Filed against Intel for patent infringement on computer architecture. Why are they building buildings out of computers?
No,
and power efficiency technologies.
Architecture means something else. Computer world's dummy.
The lawsuit was settled in October 2007 with Intel agreeing to pay $150 million initially and $20 million per year for the next 5 years.
Nice. That's way more than $50 a month.
$50 a month was what they asked for. On November 4th, 2009, New York's Attorney General filed an antitrust lawsuit against Intel, claiming the company used, quote, illegal threats and collusion to dominate the market for computer microprocessors. Noise. On November 12th, 2009, AMD, which I don't even know what that means, agreed to drop the antitrust lawsuit against Intel in exchange for $1.25 billion with a B.
Nice.
A joint press release published, the two chip makers stated, because they got $1.25 billion, quote, while the relationship between the two companies has been difficult in the past, this agreement ends the legal disputes and enables the companies to focus all of our efforts on product innovation and development. That sounds very like a trust to me.
And bullshit.
Yeah. Intel has faced complaints of age discrimination and firings and layoffs. Intel was sued in 1993 by 9 former employees over allegations they were laid off because they were over the age of 40. Fuck these ageist sons of bitches.
Nice.
Yeah, Noyce probably got fired when he turned 40.
Probably. All right. Now we got to end. What?
You can't hear?
I mean,
You're muted, dummy.
For part of it.
Noise.
Now we got to head to a sad story. As on April 12th, the boxing world mourns the loss of one of the all-time greats, Sugar Ray Robinson, a 3-time middleweight champion from 51 to 58, and a world welterweight champion from 46 to 51, passes away from Alzheimer's at the age of 67. We try to teach you something on each episode, and here's one thing I didn't know.
Noise.
Sugar Ray's real name is Walker Smith Jr.
Well, I knew his real name wasn't Sugar.
Well, no shit. Sugar.
I didn't know it wasn't Robinson though.
Right.
I did.
He was born on May 3rd, 1921 in Ailey, Georgia. He was the oldest of 3 kids, and his father started as a cotton, peanut, and corn farmer before moving the family to Detroit and worked 2 jobs. Even though he started off in construction, he would work as a cement mixer and a sewage worker at the same time.
Gross.
What? Yes. Walker Seaton. Could you imagine like pouring concrete all day and then going to play with shit for the other 8 hours of the day? No, thank you. Walker Sr. would often work 16-hour days, 6 days a week.
Noise.
No, tourable. Eventually, his parents separated, and Walker Jr. went with his mother to the Bronx. Initially, he wanted to become a doctor before dropping out of school in the 9th grade and instead of focused on boxing.
That seems like a stretch. It's
Yeah,
like I want to be a doctor or I want to put people in the hospital.
Well,
I
it
can't
sounds
decide
like it was one of those things like, hey, I'm 11. I want to be a doctor. And then you're like, I can't do that. When
I don't know how to read.
Yeah. To join the amateur ranks, the 14-year-old Walker Smith Jr. was told he needed to acquire an AAU membership, which you can't get until you're at least 16 years of age. Smith then acquired an ID from a 16-year-old named Ray Robinson, and just like that, Sugar Ray Robinson was born.
When I die, I want my Wikipedia. When I grew up, I wanted to be an NBA superstar.
And
But
then
I
I
became
grew
a-
up and realized, nope.
But I got into logistics.
Yeah. And after I topped out at 5'11", 225, I was like, this probably isn't the career choice for me.
Manute Bol ain't got shit. Wait a minute. What? Robinson finished his professional boxing career with a record of 174 wins,
That's a lot.
with
a lot.
109 via knockout,
Also a lot.
19 losses with only 1 being by knockout, and 6 draws and 2 no contests.
What are
201 fights overall.
What is the no contest? Like the guy was like, nope, I'm not fighting him.
I don't know, but 201 fights, and his 19 losses, the vast majority of them came after the age of 40. Dude was incredible. Robinson has been ranked as the greatest boxer of all time by sports writers, fellow boxers, and trainers. The phrase pound for pound was created by sports writers for him during his career as a way to compare boxers irrespective of weight. In 1997, The Ring ranked him as the best pound-for-pound fighter in history, and in 1999, he was named welterweight of the century, middleweight of the century, and overall fighter of the century by the Associated Press. In 2007, ESPN.com featured the piece 50 Greatest Boxers of All Time, in which it named Robinson the top boxer in history. In December of 1946, Robinson defeated Tommy Bell to win the vacant New York State Athletic Commission, National Boxing Association, and the Ring welterweight titles.
Nice sack.
In his first, well, nobody's going to know what that means, you dick face.
Noise.
Nice sack.
Nice sack. In his first title defense, Robinson defeated Jimmy Doyle by TKO in the 8th round, in which Doyle died of his injuries sustained in the fight.
To be fair, just like the name makes him sound like a pussy. Jimmy Doyle. I feel like any of us could beat a guy named Jimmy Doyle.
Jimmy Doyle rules.
But I don't know if we could beat him to death. I think that's the difference.
With gloves on.
Yeah, with gloves on.
He would go on to hold these 3 titles until February of 1951, when he was forced to vacate them after winning the middleweight titles over Jake LaMotta and avenging the only loss of his career up to that point.
Oh, so he pulled an Ultimate Warrior there.
When Robinson was defeated in July of 1951 by Randolph Turbin via points, he had been undefeated for 92 straight fights. Holy shit. Robinson would go on to avenge his loss against Turbin by 10th round TKO 2 months later.
Just 2 months.
But see, his first fight was like July 4th, 1941. His second fight, July 8th, 1941. His third fight, July 27th, 1941.
He had a long break. Robinson.
Oh, man, I got a really strong training camp going on here.
It's just I keep fighting.
2 days. Fight again next weekend. Bah.
Robinson married Marjorie Joseph in 1938. The marriage was annulled the same year. Their son, Ronnie Smith, was born in 1939. That's weird.
Hmm.
Robinson met his second wife. Tell me if this ain't a great name. Edna Mae Holly.
That's good. That's solid.
A noted dancer who performed at the Cotton Club and toured Europe with Duke Ellington and Cab Calloway. I don't even know who Cab Calloway is.
You think she gave him lap dances between rounds?
Pole dances. According to Robinson, he met her at a local pool he frequented after his boxing workouts, which lasted 2 days. In an attempt to get her attention, he pushed her into the pool one day and said it was an accident. She had multiple concussions from that. After this attempt was met with disdain, he appeared at the nightclub she danced at and introduced himself. Soon the couple were dating and they were married in 1944. They had one son, Ray Robinson Jr., which wasn't his name, so that's kind of odd, before their acrimonious divorce in 1962. In his autobiography, Robinson states that by 1965, he was broke, having spent all of the $4 million in earnings he had made inside and outside the ring.
That's literally like
in 1965.
That's like $1.6 trillion.
Yeah. I don't like. He was sending some dude $50 a day.
You could literally buy a house for like $100 then.
Yeah. A month after his last fight, Robinson was honored with Sugar Ray Robinson Night on December 10th, 1965 at MSG. During the ceremony, he was honored with a massive trophy. However, there was not a piece of furniture in his small Manhattan apartment with legs strong enough to support it. Bro, $4 million in the 60s.
It's equivalent. So this is in 1965. Of course, he won his winnings over several decades. But $4 million just in 1965 is now worth $39,661,206.35.
And he blew through it.
It's impressive.
But what's more impressive is that the $39 million would have been spent like $100 at a time.
Yeah. And on what? That's what I want to know.
No idea.
Last week for saying fuck Bruce Pritchard.
No, that was the girl from.
Oh, that was Kate from Fightful.
Yeah.
They're both asshats.
Yeah.
All right. None of the Nimities are actual journalists. They're fucking marks.
She works for like WrestleJoy on like .com.
WrestleJoy sounds like a porn site.
But yeah, no Joy. Well, Joy is spelled J-O-I. Timmy,
Nice.
Do you need to Google that also?
Maybe.
It's jerk off instructions. J-O-I.
Have Sarah give you some JOI this weekend. And then Angry Dragon her.
Goo. A goo.
All right, now that we can air some of this show, we have to edit out the last 5 minutes. We just did a boxing story, so are you ready to do some sports trivia on boxing?
Boxing trivia 1989.
Here we go.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Here it is. 8. Pressure with 3. Wentz is going to run the ball. Makes a guy miss. Comes down to over the second rafter, off the floor, nothing. Through the window, off the wall, nothing but net. You like that? You like that? I like that.
You gotta like that, right? Mike Tyson.
So
Vander Holyfield.
I have here the Ring Magazine's annual rankings for 1989. Pound.
We
for
can't
pound.
really do boxing. There's no way.
Well, here's I was just going to say I have here pound for pound. This is from the April 1990 edition. I was going to say if you could name 3 people, I will kiss your ass.
Let's
on
just
Broadway.
do it.
Hector Macho Camacho.
Nope.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Nope.
Marvin Hagler.
Nope.
Mike Tyson.
Number 1.
Yes.
What-
Vander Holyfield.
I said Mike Tyson.
No,
Nope.
you didn't.
I did when we came into the segment.
George Foreman.
Nope.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Nope.
Sugar,
fun. You guys-
Sugar
I have
Ray
baseball
Robinson.
pulled up if you rather do baseball.
Yeah, let's do baseball.
Let's do baseball. I like baseball. Hold on. Who else was on the list?
Yeah, who's on the list?
Number 10 was Marlon Starling. Number 9, Virgil Hill. 8, Raul Perez. 7, Azuma Nelson. 6, Meldrick Taylor. 5, Antonio Esperagoza. 4, Michael Nunn. 3, Pernell Whitaker. And 2, Julio Cesar Chavez.
I've heard of
Julio
two of
Cesar
those.
Chavez and Perot.
I've heard of Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
But we have Major League Baseball leaders for 1989. Timmy, you are getting just decimated. It's a lot to 3. There's too many. Dave has too many dashes to count.
I think it's 8.
So we're going to start with batting average leaders. Timmy, how many can you name? 1989 batting average leaders. No, there are no Reds on the list.
4.
Dave, can you do 5?
Prove it.
Tony Gwynn.
Second, 336.
Wade Boggs.
Fifth, 330. Don't you peter out on me now.
Willie McGee.
No. Dave, you need 3.
Kirby Puckett.
Led the league, 339.
Barry Larkin.
No.
There are no Reds on the list.
Here's the
Listen,
rest of your
dummy.
top 10. 10th, Steve Sachs, 315. 9th, Lonnie Smith, 315.
Was Walt Weiss on it?
No. 8th, Walt Weiss. 8th, Paul Molitor batted 315.
He was Rookie of the Year that year. Robin Yount?
7th was Julio Franco, 316.
I thought about him.
6th, Robin Yount, 318. 4th, Will Clark, 333.
Oh, damn it, Will Clark.
And 3rd, Carney Lansford batted 336.
Carney Lansford.
Let's do home run leaders, Dave.
Home
What do you
run
got?
leaders.
89 home run league leaders.
4.
Wow, Timmy, can you do 5?
Yep.
Do it, bitch.
Kevin Mitchell.
Led the league with 47.
Do it, bitch.
Jose Canseco.
No,
So I need 2.
you need 2.
Fred McGriff
Tied for second with 36.
and Darryl Strawberry.
No. Here's the rest of your
Mark
top 10.
McGuire. Eric Davis.
Mark McGuire, Bo Jackson.
Tied for 9th, Ryan Sandberg of your Chicago Cubs.
Of course.
Ryan
Who was
Sandberg.
10?
And Nick Asaski each had 30.
Cincinnati Reds legend Nick Asaski.
8th, Bo Jackson with 32.
Joe Carter.
7th, Mark McGuire, 33. 5th, the Davis brothers, Glenn and Eric, each had 34.
Eric the Red.
4th, Joe Carter, 35.
I win.
And
You
tied for
go win.
Howard Johnson had 36.
Hojo.
Oh, Hojo.
Timmy, do you want RBI or do you want to go pitching?
Well, we've already gone through a lot of hitters. Let's do pitching.
Okay, we're going to do pitching. New tab, pitching. We're going to start off with wins here. 1989 league leader in pitching wins. Timmy, how many? There's a lot on this list. How many can you name? There's way more than 10. There's at least 16, 17.
4.
Okay. Can you do 5, Dave?
1989. Let's go for 5.
Dave says 5.
Dave Stewart.
Second, 21.
David Cohn.
No. Timmy, you need 2.
Oral Hershiser.
No.
How terrible was the Dodgers offense?
Here's the rest of your top 10.
Frank Viola.
All tied for 10th. Alan Anderson, Burt Blyleven, Roger Clemens, Tom Gordon, Dave Stieb, Bob Welch, and Rick Ruschel all had 17. Tied for 7th, Jeff Ballard, Mike Bilecki, and Joe McGrain. All tied for fourth, Storm Davis, Mike Moore, and Greg Maddox. Third, Mike Scott, and your league leader with 23 wins, Brett Saberhagen of the Kansas City Royals.
Faberhagen.
It was the only.
I used him all the time in RBI baseball.
So we got saves left, Dave. No one has scored a point yet.
What are you talking about?
I got 0.
Timmy, can you guess one?
Saves?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who?
Dennis Eckersley.
Tied for fifth with 33.
Oh, Timmy got a point.
Let's
89
see,
killed me.
I mean, I could also go John Franco.
Let's see. 2,
I could go
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to 4 is the score right
Randy
now.
Myers.
John Franco tied for 8th. Who did you say after
Randy
that?
Myers.
No Randy Myers.
Oh,
What?
loser.
That's
1 point.
horseshit.
That's it.
The rest of your top 10, Jeff Reardon, Doug Jones,
Lee
Dan
Smith.
Plesac, Mike Schooler, Chicago White Sox legend Bobby Thigpen was 4th.
Finally, he got into the league.
Wild Thing Mitch Williams, 3rd with the Cubs, 36. Jeff Russell, 2nd, and your league leader, Mark Davis, had 44. And that is box score trivia. 1 week to go. Dave is leading 13 to 4.
I'm
Timmy gets
getting
but
him
Timmy
next
goes.
week.
Timmy goes 1-0 this week.
Timmy's got me right where he wants me.
Yep.
I still think that I should get the points when Dave couldn't top me. I don't know why.
Well, then I should get the points when you couldn't top me.
Yeah, that's right.
You did get those points.
No, I didn't.
Oh, whatever. Go back and listen to it. Start with the watch along. It was 3 hours long.
It's a terrible idea.
All right. So does that mean it's my turn? That means it's my turn. Let's go to Timmy's Trivioki.
Figaro. Figaro, 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 Figaro.
That's not Tosca.
Ugh, my ears. My neck, my back.
Yep. I remember. Everyone remembers when Elvis performed that.
Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take it from Bermuda, Bahamas. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, baby. All right, here we go. 1989, right? Not in their wheelhouse. This will be fun for me.
I'm ready.
All right. Dave, you ready?
He is muted. Go. Go.
Muted. Song number 1, clue number 1. This is a song by American rock band Bon Jovi, released as the 3rd single
Living on a
from their
Prayer.
1988 album, New Jersey.
Wanted Dead or Alive.
Wrong album, dumbass. Clue number 2, it became
You
Bon
give love a
Jovi's-
bad name.
Still wrong album,
Oh.
dumbass.
Pour some sugar on me.
It was the wrong band,
Bon Jovi,
dumbass.
Def Leppard. They suck.
It became when they have one arm. Nine arms.
Oh, they have 9 arms.
It became Bon Jovi's 3rd single from the album when it was released as a single in '89. As the band was at its peak in popularity at the time, the song quickly climbed to the number 1 position in both Cashbox Top 100 and Billboard Hot 100, becoming their 4th number 1 single.
Young Guns.
89.
No. Bon Jovi, New Jersey is the album.
New Jersey.
Trenton.
God, I hate y'all.
Newark.
Clue number
The
3.
Net- the Nets.
The video for this song features the band performing on a dark stage with an almost monochromatic blue color due to the stage lighting, with close-ups of each member, most notably lead singer John Bon Jovi and lead guitarist Richie Sambora. It's a slow song.
Inner Sandman.
Well, it wouldn't have if you guys would have known it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get further into your wheelhouse.
You guys have never been to a middle school dance school.
Yeah, that shit
Nerd.
was hopping in
I was upstairs playing basketball. Not dances.
Never mind. Song number 2, clue number 1. This is a song from American singer Roy Orbison's 22nd studio album,
Pretty woman.
Mystery Girl.
Walking down the street.
The song was released posthumously on January 3rd, 1989, after Orbison's death from a heart attack on December 6th, 1988.
It has something to do with sunglasses.
Clue number 2. This was written by Orbison and his Traveling Wilburys bandmates, Jeff Lynne and Tom Petty. Their first songwriting collab. It was written during the Christmas season of '87 and recorded in Mike Campbell's garage in Los
Santa
Angeles.
Claus is coming to town.
In April 1988. Very popular here.
All
in
I want for
April.
Christmas is you.
Clue number 3. Lynn Petty.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Former Beatle and fellow Wilbury George Harrison and Phil Jones provided other instrumentation and background vocals, and it's not Pretty Woman.
You might as well just go ahead and read off number 4.
Put on your yarmulke.
You got it. Anything you need, you got it. Anything at all, you got it, baby.
Anything you want.
Anything you want,
It's a terrible
you
Christmas
got
song.
it. Anything you need, you
Totally
got
tricked us
it.
with this one.
Anything at
Of
all.
Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
What are you, 90?
It was 89.
Wait, is the next one? Is it the Statler Brothers?
Song number 3, clue number 1. This is a hit 1972 song by the rock duo Loggins and Messina.
I hate you. Wait, Loggins and Messina.
I've never even
Loggins
heard
and
of
Messina.
them.
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins,
Oh.
Danger Zone. Yes.
Clue
number 2, in 1988, the glam metal band Poison recorded a cover of this song as it appeared on their is the 9th track on their
Kenny
second
Loggins.
studio album.
Kenny
Open Up and
Loggins.
Say,
Stop
"Ah,"
talking so I can think. Kenny Loggins.
Pour some
by
sugar on me.
Capitol Records. It was
What's the Cloud song by Kenny Loggins?
the Cloud.
Cloud song.
It's from the arm wrestling movie.
Over the Top?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never watched it.
Hey, dumbass. In 1988, the glam metal band Poison recorded a cover of this song.
I don't know. The song from Over the Top.
It's
Wait,
not it. It's not even close. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Was that our former co-host?
This is it.
intro
Do
song?
He's got a song like This Is It or something.
He's just saying Kenny Loggins. It's true. Actually, I'm pretty sure
He
he's
is.
somebody
We
who's right now.
polluted his mind.
All
with
I'm
Kenny
thinking of is Kenny
Loggins.
Loggins.
Clue number 3, in 2017, Billboard and OC Weekly ranked the song number 6 and number 5, respectively, on their list of 10 greatest Poison songs.
Oh, well, my God. Everyone read that.
Dance and your daddy don't rock and roll.
You picked some shitters this week.
These are hit my clip.
Mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll.
How many more songs do you have?
That's it.
The last one?
Yes.
Oh, it's time for Game Fave. Have you seen it?
You slip her the hot beef injection.
Footloose.
What?
But they got confused.
I'm thinking Kenny Loggins song still.
All right, here we go.
Thunderstruck.
She's like the wind. No, that's not Kenny
No,
Loggins.
that's William Perry.
The refrigerator?
Hey.
What are we doing?
All right, here we go. 4 movies this week. Timmy, you have to clean sweep. 7-3. TJ Steppins.
I swept last week, so I'm going to do it again.
1989. Here we go with a budget of $15 million. Our first movie this week grossed more than $84.4 million at the box office. It's an American sports fantasy drama film.
It's a lot of words.
An Iowa farmer is inspired by a voice.
No,
Field of Dreams.
TJ Stevens.
No. That is horseshit. I beat him.
No,
I don't know. We'll have to go back to the tape. That was close.
No, you didn't. You did not beat me.
I think
didn't.
TJ said it faster.
Austin
I-
Powers. No,
All right,
I didn't.
Ty, maybe.
I don't record these individually now, so
We'll know.
we will know when we listen.
I beat you.
Hold
by
it
like
up. We're
2.5
holding it up.
seconds.
I beat you. No,
I was already
you have
drinking, but-
shitty internet.
I was already drinking by the time you finished saying it.
I was already watching Costner. I don't know. He's
Here we go.
Cal Ripken's wife.
Oh, by the way, an Iowa farmer is inspired by a voice
we
he
know.
can't ignore to pursue a dream he can hardly believe.
If you
Supported
build
by
it,
his
he
wife,
will
he
come.
begins the quest by turning his ordinary cornfield into a place where dreams can come true.
True.
Very good.
All right, here we go. Movie number B. With a budget of $11 million. Our second movie this week grossed more than $75 million at the box office.
I like it.
Okay.
This movie is one of Dave's faves. It's an American sports comedy film.
Major League.
Timmy C,
Seen
My
it in the
name is
theater.
Eddie Harris.
the new owner of the
Yeah, you
I
missed
know. I was waiting for you.
You're bad at this.
I just
Or did
beat you,
TJ
bitch.
beat me? TJ may have beat me that time. Who knows?
He did. The new owner of the Cleveland Indians puts together a purposely horrible team so they'll lose and she can move the team to Miami. But when the plot is uncovered, they start winning just to spite her. We never got to see her naked. All right, here we go. Movie number C. With a budget of $11.5 million.
Go ahead, Dave. It's fine. Let's go.
Our third movie this week grossed 57 point grossed. I've been drinking.
Me too.
Me too.
This is my fourth one.
$57.5 million at the box office. This is an American supernatural horror film. Not horror.
Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
After tragedy strikes, a grieving father discovers an ancient burial ground behind his home.
Pet Cemetery.
TJ Stevens.
Hey, Timmy, did I beat you on that one? Dick.
Yeah. Why do I have to sweep? Because we still have next week. Do you not have movies next week?
Oh,
I'm up by 5 right now.
Okay. Then I can get this next one and we can.
You better
do
get it then.
4.
If I win, it's over.
TJ ain't getting this one. So listen
Mm.
closely, Timmy.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I get it?
It must
Movie
be
number
cool.
last. With a budget of $8.5 million.
I like it.
Our last movie this week grossed $4 million at the
Holy
box office.
shit.
Ouch.
This is an American comedy film.
Well, at least Dave said I'm not going to get it because I have taste. And I
Is
don't
it one
watch
of Dave's faves?
I liked it. It's not a fave, but I liked it. Randy is still unfocused after 2 years in college. When his dad refuses to keep paying tuition, he gets a job at Senior Pizza delivering pizzas. Several alluring cougars pay him $200 for pizza delivery. And
Secret of My
services when-
Success?
No. This stars Patrick Dempsey and Kirstie Alley.
No, not Can't Buy Me Love. What?
Millions.
10.
I don't have it.
Lover Boy.
Oh, I just won. Thank you, Timmy.
We're doing 5 movies next week.
Next week, we're going to do 6.
You got to do 6 for you
Here
to
you
win.
go. I will beat you. I'm going to study.
Next week, whole show's
can't-
movies.
You can't study, Skank. You can't study
It could be.
beforehand.
It's going to be WrestleMania 5. We're going to.
I clearly don't study music before our episodes. You can't study movies before.
Oh, we're doing our live show next week, aren't we?
I don't
Yes, we
think
are.
either of you study music before we do this.
When are
'cause
we doing it?
Yes.
next week?
Thursday?
It's got to be Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
Probably
Wednesday works.
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
You know what else I liked? WCW Clash of the Champions 6, Raging Cajun. We are live from the Super Duo in New Orleans. Your announcers are Jim Ross and Michael Hayes. So I don't know
Yes.
if anyone knows the story of this. So they're in the Superdome, and we're going to talk about it as the show goes on, but it is incredibly dark inside
Yeah.
the Superdome.
You know why?
Yes, because no one's there.
Yeah.
So for whatever region, whatever
Region.
region, this would be
The
the Mid-South,
Southeast, probably.
they decided, like, hey, WWE, WWF at the time, they're having WrestleMania in Trump Plaza.
Which holds like 18,000 people tops.
Wouldn't it be great if we held a show the same night on free television in a bigger arena, and they booked the Superdome? The problem was they didn't tell anybody. They didn't advertise it locally. 5,000 people showed up.
Which didn't even fill the field.
Which is what, a 62,000 seat arena? So good on you for that.
They didn't even reach the seats. Like,
No.
it was just people on the field.
And when I say it's dark in there, like, we're going to talk about it. So we start the show with JR recapping the feud between Steamboat and Flair, which saw Steamboat win his one and only world championship.
Well, I agree, TJ. WCW's lighting budget, not great. Of course, now we know why.
Well, their lighting budget clearly came out of the gate, and that's why they couldn't turn the lights on.
And apparently they couldn't fit Michael Hayes and Jim Ross on the bottom third at the same time. They had to show them separately. Good job, guys. Fuck, TJ. Another hour time limit match.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep. But this one was good.
Jesus.
Now I want to go back and watch Luthez wrestle for 9 hours against that
9
one.
hours. 1937.
You better hope I can't find a TV from back then. After the intro package, we go to JR and Michael Hayes, and it's so dark in the building, I can't even see Michael Hayes' face.
That might be a good thing.
I wasn't against it. They say there's going to be 5 titles defended tonight, which is a lie.
They're wrong. They're liars.
Then we go to highlights of the stars showing up, like Gene Kiniski, Pat O'Connor, Terry Funk, and Buddy Rogers. It would have been cool if we could have seen them. And how do we pay tribute to these stars? Have Jim Herd say a generic statement to him.
To be fair, he brought him pizza too. So
You bring him pizza. But also, we'll let you watch the show, but you got to watch it in the dark. After the Legends package, we get a recap of all the stars involved in the show today. And my goodness, well, we didn't see most of them. But with this roster, had they advertised this at all in the local market, they would have gotten 20,000 people easy. But instead, we got like 5,055.
and like most of them were probably homeless people.
Probably.
You're really showing the lineup if you just show a highlight package. They're like, let's go to the lineup. And then it's just all highlights. What? No, it's not a
Those guys
lineup.
we
You're just
have.
showing highlights. Okay, thanks. They're keeping that upper level off of dark. And by upper level, I mean lower bowl. Who the hell is producing this shit? They ask everyone to look at the flag for the national anthem, and then the television camera doesn't even show the flag. It shows a shitty laser show. Who puts on a laser show during the national anthem?
Yeah, please take
Jim
my
Herd.
attention away from the flag.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, actually, here's the next thing. We get a playing of our national anthem. Then at the end, we get a pyro display with one of the fireworks shooting directly into the crowd. Luckily, no one was there. Match 1. The Samoan SWAT team with Paulie Dangerously against the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette. This is the weird time period where Cornette and the Express were actually baby faces. Cornette gets a shot with the racket on Samu, with Michael saying, "I don't think it hurt him. Maybe his pride in front of this big crowd." Where? When we talk about best punches ever, we don't talk about Bobby Eaton nearly enough. Hayes says that these are real wrestlers. This isn't show business. Clearly a shot at WrestleMania 5. The Express hit the rocket launcher. Tommy Young gets distracted. Eaton gets hit with the phone. And your winner is the Samoan SWAT team. A little long, but it was a good tag team match. I liked it.
Samu and Fatu out here before they became head shrinkers. Jim Cornette as a face, that's just weird. Although he had quite the feud with Paulie Dangerously going on in WCW at this
And
time.
Cornette and the Express were over here. Well, the 8 people loved him.
You guys think Pondwater remembers when the Samoan SWAT team defeated Kerry and Kevin Von Erich for the WCCW Tag Team Championship in August of '88?
I mean, he was
They
probably
had
there.
those titles then?
Yep. Sweet Stan and Beautiful Bobby lose to one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Of course, the Head Shrinkers.
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy here, though, Fatu only 23 and Samu was 25. And Samu only made it around till 94, wrestling full-time in the WWF before he left to tend to injuries and to smoke pot. Never came back.
Pot is
I was a huge fan of the Head Shriekers. They should have been pushed to the moon by WWF.
By the way, are we just going to ignore that Fatu was Rikishi?
I mean, I think most people know that.
Okay.
Yeah, when he originally came out, his name was Rikishi Fatu.
True.
Actually, I mean, he went through a few things, but okay.
Well, first he was Fatu making a difference.
Then the Sultan.
Then the
Sultan.
Sultan.
The Sultan Fatu.
Sultan.
It's almost like they're using the managers as the stars in this match. Okay, I'm fine. The hardest shots thrown in this match are from the SWAT team against the SWAT team. They just keep hitting each other.
They actually started fighting at one point. It was fun.
Although
They're savages.
I thought it was a good move by WCW to make the Midnights the baby faces in New Orleans because they were over in New Orleans.
What's that?
I have no idea. Text to type. Hazen full on. We're wrestling mode.
I was reading that. I'm like, what is he trying to say?
Purple Hazen.
I have no idea. It's only fair the Samoans won because they just beat each other. I mean, Midnights didn't have to do shit. They just kept moving.
Match number 2, the Great Muta with Gary Hart takes on Steve Casey. They kept calling him Steven. They say that Muta is the son of the Great Kabuki. If that's true, Kabuki had him when he was 14.
Not
Casey,
true. Kabuki
not
is
true.
like 77.
No, I actually looked it up. He was 14.
Shut up.
He's 14 years older than Muta. Casey gets missed immediately, but the match continues. This was just a lengthy squash match as Muta hits him the moonsault for the win.
I looked up Steve Casey because I never heard of him. He died back in December of 2020.
COVID.
He never did much in the NWA, but he did have a good run in USWA Dallas and GWF on ESPN. I love that the Great Muta is being billed as the son of the Great Kabuki here in his early NWA days. And Michael P.S. Hayes says they are back in New Orleans and that he holds the attendance record here, but that might be in jeopardy with the tremendous crowd they have on hand. That show was at the New Orleans Superdome, and it had a whopping 5,300 people in attendance. I think your record's okay, Hayes. Muta absolutely dominated this jobber. He was never in any trouble. He just toyed with him, but it was like 8 minutes long of him just beating the shit out of this guy. And I'm going to say this right now. Hot take. The Great Muta is the best foreign professional wrestler of all time.
But
I said what I said. Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, Chris Jericho, Antonio Inoki, Andre the Giant. None stack up to the Great Muta.
But I hear that AEW has the greatest wrestling roster of all time, and they have Okada.
He's no Great Muta.
He's not.
He'd be Muta's bitch.
He's like the shitty Muta.
And
that should be his nickname. Okada, the shitty Muta.
I would say it's Muta, and then number 2 is Ultimo Dragon.
It'd be Shuta.
Shitta.
3 Jushin Liger.
3 Jushin.
What?
I don't know. Not
4 Mil Mascaras.
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling this little prayer thing's going to last longer in the match. I was wrong because this is real time. I didn't know he was going to put Steve Casey over like he was Scott Casey.
5 El Olympico.
El Dandy.
El Dandy. Why was Muta not disqualified for spraying the mist into his face at the beginning of the match, though?
I don't know.
I feel like that should have been like immediate. Muta's an indestructible force that Steve Casey is taking to the max because Steve Casey's a badass.
What match were you watching?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I think he got like 1 clothesline in the whole match.
How long did the match go?
8 minutes. The Muda beat
Forever.
his ass
That's
up for 8
way
minutes.
longer than it should. It's like 8 minutes longer than it should have. First off, it should have been a disqualification when the bell rang for the spraying the mist. But second off, Muda should have beat this guy in 30 seconds. So he obviously had something. The best part about this, that moonsault was so innovative in 89. I can remember being
It
a
was
fan back
awesome.
then and was like, damn, that guy did that. That's crazy.
He just did a backflip off the rope, Dad.
Right?
Oh, man, dude. Onto
My-
that guy.
My
Dude.
fat ass couldn't do it today.
Whoa, dude. It was tubular.
Tubular. Match 3. Butch Reed with Mr. Matsuda takes on JYD, who came to the ring with the world's smallest marching band. Reed works the majority of this match. Reed gets whipped in the ropes, knocks down Matsuda. JYD gets the win. Pretty boring.
JYD is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. He's one of Dave's faves. As a kid, I ate this JYD shit up. As an
In
adult,
WWE.
yeah. Well, and then when he went to NWA, but as an adult, not good. Not good.
He looks fat here.
But could you imagine a time in the early 80s when JYD would be facing Butch Reed in New Orleans? And they would be one of the opening matches in front of 5,000 people?
Mm-hmm.
They did what, like, if they had advertised this locally, they had a card built to draw locally.
Yeah.
Because JYD and Butch Reed were over in New Orleans.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
Midnight
saying.
over in New Orleans.
All 5,300 people in that building were rooting on JYD, though. They loved him, but I mean, nobody else knew he was there.
Well, the 700 of them weren't at the snack bar. Sure, this feud would have worked well here in 1982, not so much in 1989. Not a Matt Classic. They were, oof,
A Matt.
it was
Who's
bad.
a Matt?
I'm Matt.
A Matt Classic.
So forgot to do this.
He's my favorite Saudi and Arabian friend. A Matt Classic.
Here's the match ratings. So the first match went 20 minutes, 32 seconds. It got 3 stars. The second match went 8 minutes, 11 seconds. It got 3.25 stars. This match seems impossible, but it went 9 minutes and 56 seconds, -1 star. Here's the next match. Apparently, there were some matches in between we missed because I didn't.
Yeah,
see
we'll
some
get
of these.
to it. We'll get to it.
Match 4 that I saw. Dan Spivey and Kevin Sullivan challenged for the U.S. tag titles against Rick Steiner and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert with Missy Hyatt. Steiner is built like a brick shithouse here in this match.
Steroids.
This match was short and brutal. Spivey and Steiner go tumbling over the top rope. I thought Spivey died. Gilbert hits Sullivan with Missy's purse and gets the win. After the match, Spivey and Sullivan get their heat back after the match, attacking Gilbert.
That top rope fall was nasty.
It was gross.
Yeah. But this match was over quick as shit. I was not expecting that.
3 minutes and 51 seconds.
The aftermath beatdown was just as long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused by the whole match. The varsity club doesn't have the guy dressed like he's a college wrestler, but the other team does.
Yes.
And I'm not sure what kind of bags Gucci made back then, but they were pretty devastating because it ended that match. All was just a Gucci bag.
So our main event, which is interesting
What?
because
No, you said there'd be 5 titles defended.
yeah, they did say that, but
We'll get to that.
So, but no, there was some apparently Bob Orton Jr. beat Dick Murdoch on this show. I didn't see that. Mike Rotunda and Steve Williams beat Animal and Hawk for the NWA tag titles. Didn't see that. And
Bob Orton defeated Dick Murdoch in 50 seconds.
good.
Wow.
And it says on
Varsity-
here,
Lex Luger beat Jack Victory in a dark match. Sting defeated Rip Morgan in a dark match. Those were supposed to be shown if the Flair Steamboat match was too short. They still had TV time
Right.
remaining.
so
Then you
this
had the
says-
Varsity Club defeat the Road Warriors for the NWA Tag Team Championship, where Teddy Long turned heel. Referee Teddy Long turned heel.
3.25
on the
Not,
Road Warriors
not
wrestling
on it.
match.
Good job.
And then Ranger Ross beat the Iron Sheik by DQ.
in a minute 56. Also,
You know what
said-
the
How do you
weirdest
not
thing
have
about that is?
how do you not have the title match on here?
it says you said Bob Orton beat Dick Murdoch in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This
50.
says 9 minutes and 45 seconds.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
Well, I think that if I were going to be beating Dick, it would want to be more like 9 minutes instead of 50 seconds.
Why, you like making it dinner and shit afterwards?
Match 5.
Hey,
your
let's
main event.
total.
Ric Flair challenges Ricky Steamboat for the NWA World Title. Flair's name is spelled wrong on the laser display, and they say that they scrapped the Luger. Well, they said they pushed it back. Luger U.S. title defense. Make sure they give this match the proper time. When Steamboat comes out, this is the same laser display that just spelled Ric Flair's name wrong. It was also under the national anthem. When Ricky the Dragon Steamboat comes out, the baby face, the champion, it says Ricky the Drago Steamboat.
I think they just ran out of it wasn't like it was spelled wrong or anything. I think
It's like when you
they
walk by
ran out of paper.
Remember, like you walk by the gas station and they have signs up, but they ran out of letters. They have like a backwards E as a 3.
Like there was an N like shooting into that crowd somewhere on a chair.
I thought that. So I watched it. I focused on it. And when it scrolled over and Steamboat came up, still missing the N.
Mm.
We like to make fun of the terrible matches, but this is arguably one of the 5 or so greatest matches of all time that happened in front of nobody. About 20 minutes in, Flair gets the first fall with a small package. Second fall starts fast and furious. Go ahead, Timmy. You have a joke. I can see it.
Nah.
Okay. Eventually, Steamboat settles in and goes after the leg and back of Ric Flair. Wait. What these are doing this deep into the match, or what these two are doing this deep into the match is nuts. We go outside as Steamboat gets whipped into the guardrail, back into the ring. Flair stays on top until he went for the dreaded top rope. Again, I don't know why he ever did that.
He hit one of them.
Once. I saw him do it once. Steamboat hits a superplex and a few minutes later gets the double chicken wing for the second fall. The third fall, we're nearing the 1 hour mark and these two are still just swinging for the fences. Steamboat gets another double chicken wing, falls back, and the ref counts Flair's shoulder down for the win. After the match, Steamboat sees the footage and takes Flair's side as we saw Flair's foot under the rope. And just like that, we're setting up match number 3. They'll be at Wrestle War 89, 5 stars this match. And I don't disagree with the rating. I love this match.
It was good to see Steamboat finally win a heavyweight title.
Yes.
He would have been a better choice for WWF champion in 93 than Bret Hart.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree.
Where he blew the fire and shit.
Smash from Demolition would have been a better choice.
Yeah, I'd rather have Repo Man as WWE champion than Bret Hart.
Mm.
This match was good, but it's too damn long, man. After one fall, it would have been 5 stars in my book. It was great.
Yeah.
They didn't need to have 3 out of 10 falls or whatever. Stupid.
3 out of 10.
3 out of
That's
10.
shitty.
30% win rate.
You'd be worse in division and still go to the playoffs.
I like the ending being controversial with Flair getting another shot at the title because there was nobody else here other than Sting and Luger, but Luger already had a belt, so Sting couldn't fight Ricky Steamboat.
True.
Go ahead, Timmy.
Well, you skipped a lot of notes.
Well, I already read all that shit, penis brains.
All right. Can't even spell Rick's name right. Cool. I'm a fan. I'm convinced by the way, Ric Flair had only been in the NWA for, I don't know, a couple decades at this point. You figure they'd have realized
15 years.
Yeah. But I'm convinced that Bonnie only wanted to leave.
decades?
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it. I'm convinced Bonnie only wanted to leave the WWF so WCW would have to buy her nice dresses because that's all I noticed. I'm like, why are they dressing her? She's a wrestler's wife. They shouldn't need ball gowns.
Well, she was probably walking around backstage at WWF like, hey, Bruce, is there any chance that I get to be on TV at some point? And they were like, are you out of your goddamn mind?
Right?
And she's like, Ricky, you need to go to the WCW. So
we'll put the baby on. You get the fuck out of here.
No, whore.
First flaw, very Flair-centric match formula. Lots of stuff that Flair likes to do. Few rest holds, and he won. And then they keep going like it's going to be the only thing on here. And I'm like, what? No. You said 5 titles, and we're at like 2.
Well, again, You push Luger and Sting off, but you kept Muta and Steve Casey.
Right? I will bet you $100 Steamboat wins fall number 2 though after the first one goes down. Because no one's ever just went 1 for or 2 for 2.
It's happened very rarely. It has happened though.
Yeah, and back in the 1912s.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Second fall has a lot more rest holds and submission type moves. Shocker, Steamboat wins fall 2. Flair does the jump off the top rope, and I think it's the only time I've seen him land it during fall 3. That's crazy. Like in his entire career, I've only seen him do it once, and it was here in front of nobody. Maybe that's why they did it. They're like, no one to see it.
Be a huge surprise.
But I looked at it and thought both of their shoulders were on the mat. How did Steamboat win?
It's a great point.
But I love that Ricky Steamboat thinks after the match the feud's over. There's controversy. I agree with him. Feud's over. To hell with it.
A pretty dumbass babyface promo after this match was over.
Yeah.
If I was Flair, I'd be upset too.
Right?
What are you doing?
The feud's over. Nah, we're done. I guess fuck the other 2 title matches. So
yeah,
whatever.
Also, there was one interesting thing here. I don't think I realized before. Because again, I think this is the first time I watched this. So the color commentator for the main event was Terry Funk. If you remember, match 3 at Wrestle War 89, he was one of the judges.
Yeah.
And when Flair won,
when he power drived him.
Yep, turned babyface and Terry Funk immediately entered. So this was a nice touch actually introducing Funk here. Because that started it started essentially.
Dude, their I Quit match was epic.
I love it.
Yes.
We need to watch it one of these days.
Yes. I'm in.
If you enjoyed this week's episode, please let us know. I cannot wait for May when we cover May of 69. Give us that 5-star review wherever you get this podcast. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast. Follow our network on Twitter at it's Ram Sports Net. As for us, you can find us all on our social media platforms at Timmy C.
At Timmy C 1979.
Dollar Bill Dave.
Follow me on X at Dave in the HSV.
And I am at Chief Stevens 91. Next week, we cover the second half of April of 89 as we watch along together WrestleMania 5. Unemployment rates get a bump. The Rangers get a new sheriff in town. Nolan Ryan flirts with another no-no, and so much more. This has been the Filter Free Podcast, and so long for now.
Joke of the week. What's worse than 2 girls running with scissors?
Scissoring while running.
3 girls running with scissors?
2 girls scissoring with the runs.
Oh, no.